A public hearing will be held by the Town of Sullivan Planning Board pursuant to section 276 of the town law on the application of Steve Murphy for approval of subdivision of land located at 7427 Bolivar Road, Chittenden, SLD being 32-2-50. The applicant proposes to subdivide this area into two lots. Lot number 1 is 2.65 acres and lot number 2 is 50.1 acres. The hearing will be held on April 5th, 2022 at the Town Office Building, 7507 Lakeport Road, Chittenden, at 6:45 p.m., at which time all interested persons will be given an opportunity to be heard. A copy of the plat of said subdivision has been filed with the town clerk and is available for public inspection prior to the public hearing. This and all meetings held at the Town of Sullivan are open to the public.
You're free to make comments about your put in the record yourself or not.
No, if you got any questions, it's pretty simple and straightforward. So if you got any questions, we just our farm wants the land and Dan wants the house, so we're separating them out basically because of that reason.
The only one we're waiting for is Sherry. And sir, you are?
I'm George Corcoran.
Okay, George, and you're here for your own business, but
yes.
if you wish to comment on this
well,
hearing,
actually,
you may
I
do
was on the. I thought I was already set to be here.
You are.
Yes.
You are. But the regular meeting starts at 7.
Okay.
Okay, so we have this hearing that lasts 15 minutes for these guys,
Okay.
but there probably won't be.
Okay.
It'll be rather quiet, and they'll be the first order of business. So
Sounds
we'll go through the agenda, but you're on.
Okay.
Okay.
Sounds
Okay.
great. I appreciate it.
You're there.
Mr. Chairman, we should complete seeker on this before the public hearing is closed.
Okay. Can we, gents, we need to. Can we do this in a hearing mode, or we have to do the regular meeting?
Well, we should have it done before the public hearing is closed.
Let's
you want to extend that a little bit into 7 o'clock, we could do that as well. If you want to do this
Your comfort, you
right
tell
at
us.
7 and then close the public hearing after.
Okay.
That's fine.
All right.
So why don't we do that?
All right. We're doing the seeker for Dirk subdivision. We got to do 3 others tonight. There she is. There she is. Are you you bringing up your copy? Or whatever. All ready? Go. Well, however you want to do it.
Do you want to do it now, or do you want to wait till 7 o'clock?
Oh, I see what you're saying.
Yeah.
Let's wait. Right. Now, we are going to see. Okay.
What's your replacement? Who's
Dollar General's reporting for duty, right?
Yes, sir.
Okay.
Stacy?
Yeah.
That's not really the plan that she's coming and stuff.
No, I think we're just doing it just because she's been helping with the training.
Okay.
For our different boards, so I think you guys are doing another training this month. So that's it just she's coming out to do the training. Generally, I still have that. I still have you guys on my calendar every month. So
I gotta check with the rest of the board. I think
What village is it? Where?
okay.
The village.
He's more involved.
Well, what do you say?
One more next
It's like one or two people sitting there. Anything.
Yeah, but it's helpful.
It's convenient.
It should be.
Good gift.
Okay.
Thanks, Sherry.
So Rich, this is my son, Dan.
How you doing, Rich?
You don't do one seminar, you do like one out here.
They come an hour before our meeting starts and does the training instead of having to contact in Morrisville or somewhere else. But you can sort of get it online, but we're not diligent or sometimes just get it done.
And you're all there doing the same thing at the same time.
Okay. I did that.
Yeah, we're good.
What's the purpose behind it? We're in live anyway, right?
No,
They
but I mean, still, even when
specialize
it
in
was
this
paid, I
type
couldn't
of
see
work,
what
right?
was going on.
It seemed like I did watch one of them,
Somebody
wasn't
counts
bad,
and
maybe there was a lot of activity.
But stuff you
I
rep-
didn't watch them a lot.
Eighty right there was broadcast.
Not
This
every night. John's
Which I
out
thought
more
might
than
be-
I
Maybe that's what it was.
Court was over on
am.
this
Couple
side.
nights a week.
I like that being out there and saying,
Oh, I don't mind it too, but I'm
you know,
gonna.
sticking my nose there. and just-
Well,
Right,
they
this
had
area,
one,
they
the
all
one was in.
Yeah.
when we were
A lot of
sitting out
Madison
there,
County,
you
we
see
just
the
picked
back
up
of my
town
head.
Camillus and
Like, down there.
Yeah.
just the town board, but, yeah, it would be.
That's about where you live, right?
Yeah, so I'm not going to those meetings, but I do a lot of the work.
So you got the same walker.
Day to day.
Some-
But that's, you know, it's,
Yeah.
like, you know, I used to do a lot of day-to-day work. Same way you go, all over the door. Oh, yeah, it's a busy place.
Yeah.
So, all commercial properties,
Well, she
26,000
is,
people population wise, so
John Carter's
police department, you know, they got a lot of.
There's still a lot of vacant commercials on there, some other responsibilities that they want.
They're pretty built out residential and commercial. I mean, there's some roads, but
Yeah, well, I mean, I sent,
I mean, you know,
we sent, we sent.
a lot of the good,
Good
good
thing,
things,
she's,
you know,
she's got all that.
Yeah.
It's-
Just folks who did well in the fall, and you know,
But yeah, this is a mess.
All right.
there's some canopies, you know, looking.
You know, just, yeah, that looks nice.
Just something better than even that. So my question is, can the sign?
How big is the sign? Yeah, there is a ordinance, you know, are we worried about?
Oh, jeepers, I got it. I do like that, I got it, change different design. It just looks nice.
Oh, yeah.
I didn't have to.
This looks nice.
This is very.
Yeah, I mean, the signage.
They start changing, I got some canopies on that.
Yeah.
Paul, did you bring anything with you from the county?
Yeah.
No, I did.
I did, but I.
We can talk about it just generally at the end, we got a couple.
How was it? You guys went to it in March, right?
Yeah.
It was good, it was, I thought it was really, I thought one of the better ones.
One of the downtown circuits?
Yeah.
The conversation they had about housing was
Somebody
good.
wants.
And you know who it was? It was Sam Gordon's son.
Who?
Sam Gordon, he was Phil Gordon. remember
Oh, yeah,
that?
they're principal.
Yeah, they started on the same.
Oh, yeah.
It's funny, he was the one that was doing this, and it was very interesting how they were talking about how,
A lot of
you know,
stuff.
talk about the housing base and how they have some ways in the 67.
No, I
Yeah,
Sixty-seven, you can only sell
so
two
we
houses.
none of them, no actual plan, I mean, we're just approving the site plan right now, as far as.
So, right.
First, I think it's something, they got subdivided land.
Okay.
And then.
That's why
Kevin
Kevin's
Ford,
Yeah.
well, that's 5 years here.
Right, right.
That's an idea.
He's putting it closer to their
No,
property.
you know, to the gable and, let's put the canopies on it.
Frank.
This is,
We're just getting a very.
Jackson Steve's gonna keep the 50 acres.
No,
They're both-
no.
different.
Durfee Farms had bought the Cassidy land, and now they're cutting out, they're cutting out that area.
You know, this is very obvious. If they're gonna clear out the trees.
Hi, Steve.
Nothing here.
How you doing?
This is gonna show.
We're in the process of having a hearing for a Durfee subdivision over on Bolivar Road, one lot, house, outbuildings. You wanna speak to that, you may. We'll close that hearing shortly after, so get the regular meeting going, okay?
Yeah.
A little tiny, basic sign in the corner.
And the thing is, living in the community, you know, the kind of people Thank you very much. I mean, putting in the,
See, they're all gone, their trucks are gone.
are they?
And you see on Facebook, these guys are over there.
Pardon?
The trucks are gone, and Facebook, the space for rent.
Oh, really?
Yes, available.
Oh, well, we wondered, I noticed, I've looked,
I
I,
pulled it all out. Well, I saw it yesterday, it says the space available, it was right there, trucks are all gone.
That's no surprise.
if they don't come back with something, it's
And then we look at the neighborhood.
They have to go back in front of us.
Yeah, this side here, because everything they say is sticking in.
But if they come up with something that, you know.
Different, another.
Well, what trips that is a change in occupancy or not a change in use.
There's also
It's been about everything in the world.
the wild card is that now they're
No,
But
this is sort of.
the new possibility is the fact that now Patagonia owns the gas station where Billy Berry had it before.
Thank you, ma'am.
Yes. So maybe Patagonia.
Right now, just.
What's that? I haven't been in there. The one up on Lake
Rose.
he's doing great up
Go
there.
to that, Jen.
He's doing great up there.
They're doing a lot of work, but they got stuff inside. They're doing nothing, just.
Hey, how you doing? All right.
I thought this was gonna be quite easy.
Going with hay to keep those animals fed?
Yeah.
Oh, it's kind of close. We, how about you guys?
Yeah, no, the ones we got plenty of, we usually.
We're all done, we're all set, we're alive, ready to go, okay. Rich, we're close, let's do this secret.
So,
I'll call the regular meeting to order, but we have not closed.
He wants to do it before you close.
Correct.
He wants to do it before you close.
yep.
We gotta get a secret.
So the applicant filled out part 1 of the short environmental assessment form. Under part 2, it's the planning board's responsibility to review part 2 and 3. Part 2, the questions as to whether or not the application will have a no or small impact or moderate to large. We reviewed the questions on part 2 and marked no or small impact with respect to impacts on land, the community, critical environmental areas, traffic, energy, wastewater and water utilities, historic, archaeological, architectural, or aesthetic resources, wetlands. Does the board have any disagreement with no or small impact on those environmental resources?
No.
So moving on to part 3, if the board doesn't have any further findings or discussion, the board can make a motion, declare itself lead agency, the application to be an unlisted action, and to issue a negative declaration for purposes of seeker.
We need one.
I'll make the motion.
And I'll second it.
Any discussion concerning that? All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Okay. Can we have we're having a hearing on a 1-lot subdivision on Bolivar Road for the Durfee family. And if anyone wishes to speak to that, they may do so at this time. Just address your comments up to the board. If not, we will close that hearing and start the agenda. I don't see anything here. Okay. We have a motion to close the Durfee hearing, please.
So moved.
Is there a second to that?
I'll second.
Any discussion? All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Okay. The regular meeting is underway, and we have the one hearing tonight. And I'm sorry, Rose. Oh, okay. We have the one hearing tonight, and they will be the first on. They'll be the first on the docket. Under old business, we've got Dollar General, and we got Dollar General. We've got Steve Nelapovitz. And then under new business, I have Denise Ream for a subdivision down on Walnut Grove, and George Cochran for a subdivision down on Damon's Point. Is there somebody else that wishes to get on the agenda? Yes, okay, yep, got you. Okay, and we got a couple of in-house things that we want to talk about during the public meeting also. Okay, Board, you've seen the Durfee, the subdivision. We do have, Dan, is that the big map? Okay. Do we have any questions about that subdivision? We've all looked at it. Okay. If we don't, can we have a motion to approve that?
I'll make a motion to approve subdivision.
Is there a second?
Second.
Motion made and seconded to approve a one lot subdivision, what is it, 2.5? Oh,
Yeah, 2.7.
acres over on Bolivar Road, okay? Separate the buildings from the farmland. Any discussion? All those in favor?
Aye.
Okay, opposed? All right, you guys know the drill. Forrest will get us an acetate, and you'll have to come back to another meeting. But get the acetate in, we'll sign it. You have 60 days to get that filed in Madison County. Okay. And other than that, you should be you're good to go.
Okay, thank
As
you.
far as you're approved now. Okay. All right. Dollar General. We've got you for a couple of things. All right, couple things. One, the easiest one is your subdivision. Okay, we've got paperwork in front of us for that. You want to explain why you need to be? We know why, but explain why you're doing.
The overall parcel, I think, is about 165 acres or so, and Dollar General is looking to develop a small, it's just over 2 acre piece of it near the intersection of, across the street from the casino there. Yeah, I believe we are right here.
Perfect.
They were just looking to carve out a 2 acre spot there for our site development plan, which you guys have already, everybody's all looked through that and everything. The site plan review and all that has already been completed, correct? Pretty sure.
Well, we want to talk about some things tonight,
Okay.
but right now, because we're gonna have to schedule your subdivision, for a public hearing.
Okay,
We can get that out of the way, like next month,
okay,
okay? And then we can talk about the application for the project itself,
okay,
okay? They're kind of same but different,
okay.
okay? On that. So if you just point out there that roughly where your subdivision and how large it is and stuff.
Yeah, it's a 2 acre parcel. It's roughly right in this area here. Touchscreen. Yeah, if you can see, this property line right here. There you go, right back. Yeah, just a large down. So it pretty much runs about midway in this property piece here. Okay, and it runs, let's see, for 500 feet, and it's just back up to the front property line. So it's works out to be 2.08 acres, something like that.
Oh, okay. That's right there.
Yeah, 2.081.
Okay, so the other lot, it is a business zone. The lots to the west, the therapy place, the dental office, and the earlier medical office, which to my knowledge is still unoccupied, isn't it? Right. Yeah. They were all originally part of that property and they were chunked off. But there was never any formal subdivision prior, and they're aware of that, and that's what they're doing now, to separate this from the large farm area that will go all the way to Salt Springs. Okay, so all I would ask the board tonight is that you would schedule, if you don't have any questions about this particular, it's just the subdivision of the land, not the project. If you don't, we need to schedule a public hearing for this for next month, and we will also, with Rich here, we'll do the seeker. We'll do the seeker and mold that into the motion to establish the hearing.
On this map that you provided, it's dated August 24, 2021. From the map that you provided us, I think this was a January meeting. It says it's, well, actually, it had to be February meeting because it was dated February 1st, 2022. Are they essentially the same map with just
No,
this?
those drawings there were more when we were, from the previous visits I had up here and all that, well, we were still going through the reiterations on the site plan model and all that. The site plan has been progressed and all that. And I do have a small set here with me, the drawings and all that.
Well, I'm just concerned that they're the same dimensions for both of the maps.
Well,
They will likely be a little bit different.
Which one's right?
Yeah, I mean, it's,
This one?
well, I know, that's what I'm saying. This is
That's
February
what-
1st, the other one's August
That's,
21.
this one's correct.
Yeah. Is it just that you impose, you put these things on the map? So if that's the changes, then fine, but,
that's all this is depicting.
yeah.
Okay.
But see, they only have the one date here for the map. It doesn't show an original date on the map. So that's why I'm just wondering. if we're
Well,
looking at
yeah,
the
but
same
that probably refers to this
Mhm.
and not the foot, necessarily the footprint. This is the survey. This is the, I would presume, this is the survey, 8/24/21. That would be after early in the project. They surveyed the parcel,
Okay.
and that's what you're seeing.
Now that it's been progressed ahead, we've had a surveyor go ahead and lay the lot out.
That's
Basically
correct.
what you're looking at.
Okay.
That looks the same.
Okay.
All right.
All right, Rich, you do the speaking.
So again, looking at part 2, and this is basically a 2-lot subdivision. They're subdividing 2 acres off the larger parcel. Will the proposed action create a material conflict with any land use plan or zoning regulations? No or small impact. Proposed action result in a change in the use or intensity of land? No or small impact. Will the proposed action impair the character or quality of the existing community? No or small impact. There are no critical environmental areas on this parcel. Subdivision will not create a adverse change in the existing level of traffic. Proposed action cause an increase in use of energy, no or small impact. Proposed action impact existing public or private water or wastewater utilities, no or small impact. Will the proposed action impair the character or quality of important historic, archaeological, architectural, aesthetic resources, no or small impact. No adverse change to natural resources. The subdivision itself will not have any impact on erosion, flooding, or drainage problems, or create any hazards to human health. So the
Keeping in mind it's pre-development. Then when you talk about the project, then those impacts, they're addressed in the secret for the project, which they have also, there's mitigations that they've already done. Okay? All right, you have a negative deck. Are we comfortable with a negative deck with this? I'm just saying so that we can schedule a public hearing for 6:45 on
May 3rd.
May 3rd. Okay.
The board would declare itself lead agency. It's an unlisted action with a negative declaration.
Okay. We'll put all of that in the motion. Okay, we declare ourselves lead agency. All right, is there any discussion concerning that motion? Not hearing any, all those in favor? Opposed? Okay, hearing 6:45, May 3rd,
Who made the
for
motion? I'm sorry.
subdivision. I'm
Who
sorry,
made the motion?
who did?
I don't know, was it Sherry?
Dave made it. Who seconded? Okay, John seconded. All right, now we talk about the project a little bit. Okay. Now, let's do a little housekeeping, just so that there was some confusion on this going to be an Alan who was on first, basically. And I think that got straightened out. And so your entity provided funds to the town, so the town can contract with I'm seeing a nod in the back, you're all comfortable with that, and V&L has the material they need. Have you had any contact with them since that submittal?
I don't believe so, no. I don't believe we have.
Okay, the onus is on you.
Okay.
Okay, because we won't end anything here until we get a final report for that. Okay, so you can Taylor Botar I would think if you have that name, that would be who you would talk to initially. Whether he's doing the work, I'm not sure.
Okay.
Okay. Yep. All right. Now, you have submitted a traffic. You've addressed, you had a traffic study. Gentleman here in our town who does that, he's provided one for you. We've got a email initially from DOT saying that the entrances, they were, they could handle that. And we didn't get any details about whether, I heard that maybe it was going to be a turning lane or something, but I don't know, where are we with that?
I believe we're still in the process of the.
Talking to DOT?
Of the DOT firm 33.
Okay, so that's still up.
Yeah.
All right. So now we got our site plan pretty well worked up. You've got your variance for your parking spots. You got plenty of parking spots now there. The board had a concern, if you're looking at one of your renderings with the site plan, with the parking lot. If you want, I don't know what you have with you, but I've got two of the big sets right there. If you want, if you want one of those. Okay.
Just look on.
All right.
Questions, yeah.
And let's see, Dave, you got one, I'm sure you got one of these. You got Paul's got his. All right. And then I think we're looking at C2.
Okay.
There is a concern. I counted 56 spaces. Is that about right?
It sounds.
I think that's what the ZBA asked for when we had our meeting. That's what we made them.
Okay, so I think
originally it was like 33, and I think we required them to go up to 56.
Okay, all right. Okay,
Yes,
right.
that's correct.
So there's a concern about parking in the two, right adjacent to the
the
right
drive?
of way
Mhm.
and the exit.
And this one, backing out.
Mhm.
Never, I don't think I'd ever want to do that. Get a car coming in and turning.
We can move them.
Didn't we talk about
We can move
kind of a
I
peninsula?
mean, no one will ever really be parked in this space.
No, I wouldn't think so.
But they're designated.
Probably not.
They're correct, yeah.
I mean,
So that doesn't
Yes.
matter, they're designated.
Is there a way we can make sure that we discourage parking there?
I mean, if it's
You need these for the count, is that what's going on?
I mean, you
that's
just-
what we needed
Is that
for
the map that's going on here?
the
You
parking.
need it for the number. You need it for the
Yeah,
number.
Yes.
we figured that.
You did it for the numbers,
Mm-hmm.
but it's not a.
Mm-hmm.
Never mind.
It's
It's
not
not a
here, right?
safe,
You got a
not a
lot
safe
of-
place to be.
You got a lot of cut to come in there, right, push that thing back.
Yeah, there's a lot of grading going on in the embankment out behind the parking area there.
Wouldn't be able to put them here?
They're gonna have to cut more.
yeah.
If we put them there, then it gets into the truck turning,
Well, that's what I'm
truck turning
just wondering,
radius.
you know,
Yeah.
Right, you gotta move everything back, that's the problem.
Yeah.
This gets more
Yep.
costly than that.
Mhm. Should be.
Get it?
The next one should be.
What are the
grading
chances you're
drainage.
gonna have people parking there and truck
No.
at the same time?
Yeah, there's your newer.
You know what? We can move them right here.
Okay.
Yeah, get rid of those two coming in.
Okay.
That's just what I got.
Yeah, and maybe, I don't know, would you put like a peninsula out here or something to kind of?
We can either hatch them.
We can either.
We can either hatch them
You know
or
what? Or we can
pull the
just
curb in.
Curb it.
Yeah, that's like, you know, put curb or some sort, yeah, something that,
You need a buffer between the road and
Yeah.
there.
I mean, you could still have it as designated parking, it's just, they can't drive out into, you know.
Well, we couldn't
just
anyways, cause you
stack
can't.
them or something, I don't know.
Just too close to the turn.
Yeah.
You want me to pull the curb in, Jason, and just tack it?
Just kind of bring it
Straight in?
Yeah, bring it like, come in.
Go right ahead.
Just easier for you.
Just bring your curving up further.
Radius?
Yeah.
Okay.
Just
Make
give you
that
more,
lie on
you need a buffer.
A little instant modification.
Okay.
So there's a little bit of space.
So that's not pavement, right?
Right.
Okay.
Sorry about that.
Go ahead, John.
So, all right, the last time you were here, I don't know, I think you were.
Probably.
We had told you that we were concerned with the image. And we
Okay.
were concerned with this being a gateway from the west coming in. And this, because of where it's gonna be sitting, it's gonna have like prominent visibility.
Correct.
And you sent us and you gave us this pretty basic.
Yeah, because the large scale
And
ones
we
over
saw
there.
it, we've seen that. And then you said, well, if you got some other, any options or thoughts, let us know what we can do. So, of course, we do. Do a little research.
You're talking to the right man right here.
I like to do two for a business. So there's ways, I mean, there's tons of ways. That's a place, that's a gable, I'm not saying that.
Okay.
There's gables,
So-
there's canopies, but go ahead.
Gables on this is a corner entry.
Right, I
So
know.
that's a tough thing to do.
I understand that, I know how to do that, but it's trickier. There's other ways to do this than having this box here and there's a warehouse look coming up. As Paul's telling me, you come in from the east, all you're gonna see is there's a warehouse line there. You see this major sign. I mean, there's different ways to do this, just to use
That's
it.
an old Eckerd.
Right, I understand, that's either drive it or eat this, I know what that is. You got canopies, I think you could try to
Okay, so-
introduce canopies into
Yes,
this.
canopies.
It's so flat,
So usually what we could do is put those over here
yes.
on the sides here like that. At the front, that's a little tough to do there, but we could for sure put those awning canopy things.
Well, they did it
along
right
that
here in
direction.
this one, that's the same, that's exactly that's your model with the canopies. So,
Where's one with the palm trees?
down there.
Palm trees might.
Yeah, change heights, I mean, there's different ways to give interest, and there's different tricks to that, you know how to do that, just,
So awnings over.
how to get that awnings, break this up a little bit. It's
It's
just-
something that is just,
Alright, so that shouldn't. That should have. Wait, that.
yeah,
If that was. That should not have been looked like that. That should have been changed.
I mean, the first thing I.
So basically, that's the back. So it would look like the same at the sides, and I could chuck those awnings. Not chuck. Put those awnings. on
Awnings
that.
there in front, I mean, you gotta kind of break up the plane and
Yeah.
heights and
Because that's, that's gonna be a very prominent sight line to
could
come
vary
out
the
of
height,
building.
maybe one side go higher, I don't, it's just there's other tricks to it, so.
I saw the big thing, I don't have it in the smallest, is if you go to the landscaping along that line, keep into that thought. It was brought up here by board members of the idea that the wall of the store that is parallel to the road, okay? All right, really, there's the warehouse, that needs to be broken up a little bit with either decor or something.
Canopies will help.
Yeah, some
See, that
accents
would be
on the
the-
building, plus
See, they got masonry all the way back,
plus
right?
some landscape.
Yeah, it goes all the
It
way.
doesn't show masonry
This
here,
is-
but
yeah.
that's old.
Yeah, that's you're looking at old ones.
This is, okay, yeah.
Either
That would
masonry,
be the
like
feet-
canopies would help, change of height, I mean, there's different
We
things
do
you can
have, we do have a couple of trees towards the
Yes,
other end of
yeah,
the building.
Yeah.
we
showing-
don't have, that's what I'm handling right now, I don't have that in the small form, I know it's on the big.
Okay,
Because
okay.
I looked, I
This
saw
here?
that,
Yeah.
I saw your trees and.
Okay,
And
yep.
have, yeah. That-
Yeah, we just don't wanna cover the name of the name
Oh,
of the
no,
building,
no,
because people
no,
come.
no.
We understand that. But this is an important thing,
But we
it's gonna
can-
stand right there looking in, it's.
Yeah. It's, I mean, we could add some low stuff or whatever in front of the building.
Because that, being in that spot, that has been vacant forever.
Uh-huh.
And now suddenly they're gonna put a building there, and that's gonna catch everybody's eye as they're coming out of the village and as they're going into the
Mhm.
village. But primarily coming out of the village, if you're seeing the back of it, where you just have that plain
Right.
warehouse look,
Uh-huh.
I'm gonna hear from everybody that knows I'm on the planning board.
Is there
Coming back here,
is-
but that does a lot when you raise up a roof like that, we do that, part of what I do, so there's different ways.
Parapet.
Your eye just takes that same, makes it back, even if it's just kind of a dummy.
So you're looking not only your
You can have
front facade, you're looking at the three sides. Something in the front, roadside, rear, backside, rear side, rear end. That's the eastern end. The
Yes,
eastern end.
east.
The backside, the hill. He's up. These guys here are up there farming. They don't care.
All right, so that's just kind of the thoughts. I think it needs to be, it's such an important image and gateway, and now's the opportunity to get this right, so.
If you ran that siding down that north side, more or less that,
What's that?
the siding, see how they said the siding here, it only goes down past the.
I think it goes all the way, doesn't it?
No,
So it
goes
stops
down
like
past the
ex-
brick.
on this
You can't
side.
see it
here.
Yeah, you can see it's kind of.
You want to run that all the way down, wouldn't you?
The horizontal one goes vertical.
Are they? Those are windows. They're just accents.
So,
Right. So yeah, you don't want him. You don't want. You're looking for.
I think this is
No,
kind
no,
of.
it would, you would, we couldn't put them. We couldn't put
Takes
them
wall
on there.
space. Takes wall
Yeah.
space away. And there you go.
That's all just
Right.
coolers and shelving and stuff.
You can bring the siding all the way
Bring
down.
the siding all the way down on that north
Instead of
side.
being vertical, keep it horizontal.
Vertical. If you wrapped around the front of the building,
So
you
that-
take it right on
It
down.
minimizes the warehouse look.
Right. Yeah.
It's typically what you.
So
Or just
That's-
having different roof lines.
I think
you know,
there's
just
your
like
bottom
the
line,
canopies or
is
whatever.
to try to mitigate that warehouse, that warehouse.
It's a big structure.
Yeah.
And I think we're open to suggestion on that. But
Okay.
Just
We're
thoughts.
gonna be, hold our ground on a lot of this.
That was the horizontal siding you wanted to get.
Yeah.
What else?
Did you want to do any landscaping at all in the front, like shrubberies or anything in the front of the building to break to, or just try and do the architectural treatments?
I mean, I think the architectural treatments will make it look better.
Well, I think we've gotta see,
We should see what you come up with.
yeah, we gotta see what you come up with.
And
We can circulate.
Maybe send us some minor.
Maybe we can,
vegetation.
you're gonna be here at the hearing.
Well, I think once these big trees
Close
start
up
filling in,
something.
it'll help quite a bit.
I'm not
Right
sure
now it's so
where
stark, you know,
everything
Yeah.
else is going to be.
And everything
So
goes
there
in
we can
small
talk
when it
about
goes
it.
in,
That's
so.
what I mean, but I can circulate,
Any revisions?
yeah, I can get that out so people can have beforehand and have time to adjust them.
Sounds good.
Okay? Anything else here for?
Are they gonna have any lighting going down that north side too? What kind of lighting you gonna have over that door?
We likely won't have any lighting on that side of the building.
What about where the door is, the fire door?
There'll be just probably a light above it that comes on at night, so you can see if anybody's.
So you don't do any downlighting at all to
Not on-
enhance some of the, some of the
Not-
one side and even back a little bit?
I mean, it's really kind of facing the road, so there's no parking, so they won't.
Well, it just wall washes and gives us some interest in the evening, because 7 months here, it's dark at 4 o'clock, There's a lot of evening here, A lot of lights will be on.
I mean, just have it on till midnight or something like that.
And I
11
mean,
o'clock.
generally they come off, they turn off
Yeah,
after,
just, you know,
after. the
So like say that, they would accent.
Wall washes,
it,
they accent a
yeah.
lot, they give a lot of space. That's an expensive way to highlight a feature.
Yeah, you got the casino open up across the road, that's 24 hours a day across the road, that's all lit up.
Yeah, that's pretty lit up there.
Yeah.
Maybe we could say some of that like.
Make some changes. Thanks, guys.
Okay. If we got stuff here that we really ought not be
I got two
lugging around here anymore, some of these things.
Yeah,
Yeah, I mean, we'll change them, so if you don't wanna keep it.
We can send you
Well,
fresh copies of
we
everything
can
too.
we can put them in the inactive file, okay? Rather than carrying them with us, all the time, or, make, which one we're working on, that's what I'm.
Okay. And you had mentioned Taylor Botar, who's he?
Beg your pardon?
Taylor.
Taylor Botar works with B&L. And he is really the liaison with this
He's the
town.
one doing the.
Well, it would probably be under his auspices, but whether he himself or others are.
He's the lead doing the.
You got a B&L number?
I don't.
457
Okay, go ahead.
315 457 5052. 200.
I think,
Right, if that doesn't work, it's 5,700.
I think Taylor's been out for a while with COVID.
Yeah.
So he's probably taking, I don't think he's sick, he's just not in the office.
Okay. We may have some catching up to do.
Could ask for Alex Hess. He's another engineer.
Yeah, Alex. That, and as I said, the onus is on you to
get it time.
make sure that they've got what they want to do. They understand the drill, you know, so.
I'll have
You've
to verify
already,
with George and Chris to see if they've gotten anything from him. 'Cause that I
you
did
already
not
cut
hear
the
is
check,
nothing.
somebody did.
Yeah, you got the checks been sent.
And so that should start the game, you know. You know, it's got maybe a little later than.
Okay.
All right.
Yep. Appreciate it.
Okay, so we'll look forward to seeing some of you next month. We'll get it out, and we'll see you in May.
And then we're back in May.
Okay?
Okay, thank you very much. Have a good night.
Will do. All right, I got a pile of stuff here. No, just, all right. All right, so we're good, we got Seeker's good, and they're good. We're here, right?
You set the public hearing for next month,
That was in the same motion.
6:45, right?
Yeah, 6:45.
Oh, yeah.
We're gonna have potentially 3 others. Okay?
Wait. No, we're just gonna go in general with subdivision,
Beg your pardon?
just the subdivision, at 6:45.
So far.
Correct. Okay, Steve. Mr. Nelapovitz.
Hello, hello. So I get the whole. I was gonna do a drainage design. I have a couple of these if you want me to hand.
Yeah, we need one that can stay here.
All right, you can have that one.
Okay, we need something to work from. Did Doug do the first one?
He needs one too.
No, Ed redid the first one.
Okay, I didn't think so.
Can I get a copy?
Is that all right? Yep. One more for someone?
Yeah,
Yeah, we can share one. Where are we?
Mr. B.
Oh, yeah.
Lakeport Road, over here. We should put you in
Storage unit.
behind the.
Apparently the swell kind of follows suit, what's already there is how he explained it to me.
The back swell.
Yeah.
The one to the north.
Right.
So everything is gonna tie in, everything's gonna tie into the road. Andy was here, where's Andy? Has Andy seen this?
Yeah. Oh, the ditching or?
No, yeah, what you now have.
Did I show you this, Andy?
You did not, but you told me about it,
Right.
so.
All right, yeah.
You
You haven't seen it on paper yet.
I have not seen it on paper yet.
Okay.
But I'm very aware of that drainage, where that property is. And it actually is one of the better spots we have for drainage down there.
Just a minute, I'm sorry.
I don't know what you're talking about.
We're talking
What are we
right now, we're not accomplishing anything really, other than the fact that Andy, Town Highway, I just wanted to see if he was aware and had seen this, because he was gonna have to, we were gonna say, make sure Andy sees this map. Okay. All right. How many units are we having in here, Steve?
44.
They're all gonna be enclosed within the building?
Half of them are gonna be from the outside. There's gonna be, 10 by 10s on one side, 10 by 20s on the outside, facing the building that's already there. And then there's gonna be 10 by 30s on the roadside, which would be Cayuga. And then there'd be like a hallway down the middle with 10 by 10s on one side and 10 by 15s on the other. I'm just trying to maximize
Yeah.
as much as I can in that spot. So I kind of gauged off everything else that I did on the previous building, basically, as far as, like, he's got the swale down the middle.
Okay, is that gonna be like an open corridor? In other words, they will be your interior units, the
Yep.
small units that you're gonna have.
Mm-hmm.
Is that like gonna be an open corridor, free flow access, or are there doors? Are there gonna be doors at the end of the building?
There's gonna be doors at each end of the building.
Okay, so you gotta go in those doors to get to those units.
Right.
Do we have any concerns about site coverage, about the size of the building,
Well, this is pretty much a business zone, so we can take a look at that. But I think basically it's up to the board, the purview of the board to do that. If you're in a residential lot, that's a little different story.
Yeah.
Then you.
And that's gonna be blacktop between the two buildings, or a pervious type of material? Stone?
Yeah, that's what it is right now.
Well, which would probably be a better deal for drainage anyway.
Yeah, because
rather than the blacktop.
Right.
Yeah, okay. All right, Steve, we ought to have Doug, we ought to have a layout of
the building?
Yeah, and see, and maybe an elevation. In other words, I'm assuming that you're pretty gonna match siding and
Yeah, he's got the
everything
elevation
else.
right there in the center.
Well, what I mean by
finished
elevations,
floor.
I mean looking at the
What the
building.
building looks like
What's it
from
look?
Oh,
what's
right,
it-
right,
What's
the
it look
outside.
like?
With the
Okay.
Okay. Yeah, and just you're gonna and then we can take a peek at this one. I don't know whether you've got landscaping around that.
where you can put lights and how you.
Yeah,
Or
that
signage, you
kind
have
of-
signage you're gonna add additional?
I already have signage.
Yeah, you don't probably need another one.
Are you adding more?
No, probably not. I didn't think about that, but no, probably
Well,
not.
you gotta let us know, so.
No, I'm not gonna add signage. No.
That's probably.
Yeah.
Finished floor of this building gonna be the same as the existing storage building?
The floor?
The finished floor grade, because he's got finished on the new, but I don't see a finished grade on the existing building.
Well, I think he went off the existing building.
So it's gonna be the same?
It's gonna be the same. Yeah, that's all gonna be the same. Pretty much using the same contractors, everything is kind of the same.
You got plenty of room between them, drive in
23
between them?
feet. Okay.
25 feet, yeah.
Yeah.
Is there any like designated parking areas, or how do you?
Well, there, like this area through here there's plenty of area here. And, I mean, you could pull up the side here. This is plenty wide enough.
You don't.
And they park right in front of their units. I mean, it's kind of how they do it.
So you have interior units, right?
Mm-hmm.
So people will have to pull up, that's what Frank's saying, if you see a plan, where do they pull up and how do they enter the building?
Well, they can pull up to the back side of the building or the front side of the building.
And go down the center aisle
Yeah.
with their stuff, so.
Yeah.
So if somebody's unloading 2 or 3 people, what do they do? They have to wait, or just?
Yeah, they're gonna have to wait. I mean, it's,
I mean, you have any, I'm just wondering how it's gonna work. Maybe that's not a problem, I don't know.
that's usually not a problem, because even here, even on any of these storage unit facilities, if you get too many people in one spot at the same time, it kind of log jams.
Right.
Yeah, it's not like everybody shows up at the same.
They really don't.
Right, I mean, that's just a.
They really don't.
don't.
I mean, it could be an issue, and then they'll just have to
Have to
figure
wait.
out, because,
You're basically open 24/7.
yeah, I don't say otherwise, yeah, it's pretty much come as you want.
Well, I
It's
mean,
not
you've
really.
got no fence around it.
No,
or
I have
anything else.
cameras, I have
Yeah, but I
security
mean, people
cameras.
can come and
Yeah,
access their storage when they.
yeah, whatever.
Well,
they
why
want.
is it not 24/7 if somebody has a key to get in the front?
Well, it is 24/7,
Right.
I guess.
Why are you
advertise.
saying, why are you hesitant to say that?
Well,
I'm
he
not
doesn't
understanding.
really want somebody there at 2 in the morning.
Right, I'm just saying, I don't
You
care
can't
for
stop somebody
people.
from 2 in the morning.
Yeah, I don't know. I would rather they weren't there at 2 in the morning, but
No, I
I'm
know,
telling
but
them
I'm
they
saying
can't be.
anybody can, right? There's not, you don't have a second lock or anything. And
Well, that's fine, I mean, that's a beauty.
So let's work, we can, it's up to you. If you wanna schedule a public hearing, we can do that, because that's gonna have to be done. And then, in the meantime, you can get together a little more details with this, you need this, what you have. But you need maybe another sheet here that shows what this building is gonna, show your units, that kind of thing. The only, and again, the point is that you probably, you should have plenty of room for parking. You could designate, there again, you said, if they're gonna park close to their unit, because they're either getting or bringing.
Yeah.
They're not going in to look over the stuff usually.
Right. Oh, yeah. No, I get that, yeah.
Yeah, so they're gonna need to be around this door. That's what you wanna do, is just make sure here's something, maybe a couple parking spaces. Then you got about 15 feet from there to your property line, or the edge of the swale.
Right, because there's no units on the end, so all they have to do is, they'll have the whole length of that building, because they're only going that door. And then also on the other side, they could even access on that side also.
But you probably wouldn't need more than 4 or 5 designated spots.
Right,
But there again,
Right,
it's gonna become first served for,
First come, first served,
and,
right.
and it's gonna be somebody that can access going down through here. That's
Right, and like, if it did get jammed up like that, there's a lot of room around that property to park usually.
Yeah.
There's always a lot of places to park.
What about something like a loading dock or a ramp or something like that for people who want to bring something, they want to store the refrigerator in one of the interior units or something like that? I mean, how would you be accommodating something like that? A ramp? I mean, is it that level? There's no stair.
with a ramp.
What's it?
We're gonna-
Well, I'm just
Truck with
saying,
a ramp.
yeah, but I mean, if you don't have a U-Haul, it could be an issue. I mean,
I guess I would just make sure the ground level was close to the,
Okay.
the door level, really. As much as I could, No, I get what you're saying, people are gonna be hauling stuff in.
okay. Well, anything else we need to have Steve work on between now and next meeting? So give us so we can have a side shot. That's the elevation.
Yep.
Okay. Give something here that shows the layout.
Of the building.
Here. Yeah. You don't have to include everything on the same sheet necessarily.
Right.
Okay.
Right, I can do a separate paper with the
That-
layout of the building,
there.
that's gonna be that.
We have no motion yet.
Okay.
Yeah, because I have that. I
All right.
already have that, yeah, that's not a problem.
Yeah, we can do that, and then we can take a look at about lighting and anything else that we think are, it wouldn't hurt to throw a little landscaping in there if you could. Bush, some shrubs, clean up. Now, what about just down the road? You may have are these structures? This isn't operating anymore, is it?
No, I'm remodeling that.
Were you gonna turn it into residence?
I'm doing some work on it right now. Yeah, there was an apartment in the upstairs already.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right, that's what I was asking.
Yeah.
What's your long-term goal here for the site? That's all.
To be my retirement property.
That's
That's my long-term, that's my short-term goal.
Okay. All right. Okay. Well, I didn't know because, you actually could maybe, if those buildings were out, you could squeeze something else in.
Well, I thought about it, I've been beating myself up what to do with this property, and I'm just trying to maximize the income and, do what I can do on that piece of land, so. Maybe people will follow suit around me and clean up their areas and do something in that area too.
Well, we're going from that point too. Monkey see, monkey do.
Right.
Okay.
Yeah.
And you could set that tone.
Yeah, I mean, it's all coming through there.
That's right.
Everything's coming.
Yeah.
I grew up in Bridgeport, there was nothing there. Look at Bridgeport, look at the beach. It's coming.
Okay. Come.
All right.
All right. I'm sorry.
Public hearing?
Yes. Okay, are you okay with that? Need a motion for a public hearing?
So moved.
Second?
I'll second that.
Any discussion? That hearing would be at 6:30 on the 3rd. Okay.
May 3rd.
Okay.
Has this been the county planning yet?
No, it's gotta go.
Yeah.
Okay, he's sitting right on the 31.
What's that?
He's sitting right on Route
Yeah.
31. Gotta go down. He's the GML.
Alright, so how many?
Can we keep, well,
You got the little one.
You want this one?
Yeah, I'll take that.
can we keep this? We'll keep,
Yeah,
we'll
no,
keep
you-
this.
I have extras,
We'll
you
keep
keep
this.
that one.
Yeah.
You need like the chicken scratch in it.
And you probably ought to bring, bring copies of whatever we're getting along the sign. This is good. This is what you need. This
Right,
type,
I'll bring extra
this type-
copies of whatever I bring.
this type of plan. Okay.
All right.
Get it, and if you get it into us, ahead of the meeting, a week before,
Right.
so we can take a look
Okay.
and then, huh?
Yeah, sooner the
That-
better.
Right.
Alright.
That saves us looking at scrounging at a meeting.
Okay.
All right.
Alright, thank you.
Okay. We'll see you in May.
Yep, thanks.
Okay. Miss Ream? Here, I'll get this on. This is just, we're just checking it. Hang on to that. All right, next is.
That's not you. That's not you.
Yeah, it is.
Oh, this is,
Where's your house?
John,
This goes here.
well, no, this is the subdivision one. That goes in the folder, the first folder for it. Goes down there. Hi there. Okay. Hi, what can we do for you?
So we submitted a drawing for Wellington Road to subdivide that house, the existing house, just cut it out into 5 acres.
All right, now, we have no map, at least to my knowledge. All I've got is this.
And Forrest said he talked to you, so I had asked Forrest for the survey.
Mhm.
he
And
said
I
he
thought,
communicated
and I
with you.
communicated back to him that and then you followed up with an application and the seeker,
And then,
and he was, I
yeah,
presume,
he said he was reaching
I
back
have
out
not,
to you.
I have not,
Okay.
we have not seen a map.
Okay. So this is the sketch.
This is
and then-
right, this is
and
what we
then
got.
he said if this is okay, he's gonna do the survey, finish the survey.
Oh,
So he's-
that's where we're going with this?
That's
Oh,
where
okay.
he's
All right.
going, that,
Uh,
I'm assuming he do.
All right,
So basically there's 5.1 acres.
all right, can you, I don't know, folks, this is all we've got right here.
I have
I-
another copy. I have
We're
two more
not,
copies.
we're not, oh, what we're basically doing is just saying, yeah, go ahead and make a map. Okay, he has, they are done.
Right,
Okay, we're down in Walnut Grove, MR12 zone.
yep. And one
Okay,
of
you've
the-
got water,
Yes,
you have sewer.
septic.
You have sewer too?
Septic,
Oh, you're on septic?
yeah.
Okay, all right.
So we're under the impression, Forrest looked up the codes in the code book, that it's, if you have one or the other, it's 75 foot on the road front for road frontage.
Right, but you're gonna need 20,000 or
Yeah.
roughly half
It'll
of the
probably
builders. in.
23,000 is what we're gonna have,
You're good,
between 20 and
all
23.
right, so let's go through this again.
Okay,
Where's, that's about 5 acres,
this is 5 point some acres.
okay?
From this corner to here, and then the house would start from here to here, 75 foot across the front, and then leaving the remainder going around.
Okay, and you wanna cut this unit out,
Right, I have 2 houses here.
okay?
What's the acreage of that?
Cutout piece.
It's
And 1136.
21,623 square feet.
11, I've got 1136 Walnut,
Yeah.
right?
Mhm.
1136 Walnut Grove Road. Bridgeport.
Yeah, but what's the acreage of it?
The highlighted
It's
section.
Well,
gonna be over 20,000 square foot.
At this point, we're not taking, we won't be taking any action because we haven't got a map yet,
Right.
okay? So I think you're gonna have to wait till, we're not gonna set a hearing until Forrest gives us the map What we're doing right now is you're explaining to us what you like, and the board can react, and then you can go call forth. Yeah, they were okay with that. So get the paperwork done.
So, what happens next? So in May?
Then you come to the May 3rd meeting.
Okay.
You give us a map, okay, that is drawn by Forrest. Got all the details that you need for a subdivision.
Okay.
And then what we it's pretty straightforward, okay? So we would set a public hearing for June.
Okay.
And
I know
that's
just a little disappointed in
That was the email.
him not having the survey.
Yeah, I haven't
since-
seen that one. When was that one? Because,
It was last week.
right, but they basically,
Right, because Forrest
March-
says to me,
March
he goes, I
24.
talked to Frank, Frank said just go ahead and sketch it. When I come down, give it to Larry Ball, and
okay.
the other person
We
says that we need
were
a
waiting for a
survey.
map. We were waiting for some kind of a
He
map.
says we need a survey, so I called Forrest, they said they want a survey. He says, let me reach back out to Frank, because he said, and I, okay, and then it was
That
the
was
end.
March 24th.
Hang on. Let's see if I still got it.
This was before the subdivision.
I know, I feel.
Wrong one. So,
I guess we didn't prepare it.
no, I've been trying to do this since August.
Yeah, that was on,
January,
that-
he said he was gonna do it, so.
that one was on the, that was March 24th. That was March 24th. 29th.
I didn't get another one after that.
I have a message here that says, sorry, it went wrong. The PDF went wrong. So that's where we are.
Okay.
Okay?
So, can I have, just, because we had a vacation plan the first week of, prior to, we were supposed to
Well,
be doing this months ago.
You can
Can
come,
you
you
just-
can represent.
Just bring in, because you know what we want, it's just a matter of
You can
just giving
represent
you
you.
the drawings.
We need
and-
someone that is, you've given authority to speak for you.
Okay, they'll be there. And then we'll get the drawings and sketching. All right.
Okay, all right?
Perfect.
Okay,
This one,
okay,
drawing?
yeah, we need, well,
You
no,
can-
no,
you
this
can
is the one
keep
I
one.
here, this is the one I took out of the file. No, this is the one you shared,
Okay, thank you.
okay?
Yep.
All right, Mr. Cochran.
Yes.
So that's what they were saying.
Well, we're not gonna schedule a public hearing right now, we get the paperwork. Huh?
We'll schedule one at that meeting.
Yeah, we'll schedule one in May for June.
Hello,
Mr. Cochran.
it's Corcoran
Corcoran.
from the county Cork.
Oh, all right. What county need here?
Exactly. How are you doing?
Good.
That's good. You got my
Yes.
copies, correct? Everybody should have one. I know Brian printed out all kinds of them.
Well, no, I don't know about everybody, but I've got it.
Oh, there should be enough for everybody. I think there were 7 of them signed.
Oh.
7 or 8, something like
All
that.
right. Guess you're right. I looked at the top.
That's what I'm saying.
Okay. You good? All right. Talk to us.
Okay, you can see that Brian from Myers and Associates, he kind of outlined them in bolder print up here.
Yep.
Where it's lot 1 and lot 2.
Correct.
My brother and sister-in-law and my niece and her husband, Alicia and David Salarino from a little town down in Texas, are going to be moving back up here since they're retired and now wanting to come back up to be with family. So Owen and Bonnie are going to be taking lot number 1. And David and Alicia are going to be taking lot number 2.
Just a second, George. Lot 1, Rose, is a 1.257 acre.
Okay.
That fronts on, these two front on Damon's Point Road.
Correct.
Lot 2 is a 1.034 acre, and that abuts lot.
We get
Actually,
1.12.
What did I do?
This one you gave to the center line, this one you said was
1.123.
here, so.
1.123.
If we're going both to the center line, then it would be 1.1.
Oh, okay, excuse me, okay. All right. You got it? Okay.
And the remainder's the rest?
Okay. And the other thing that Brian did for me was and this has been something that's been an ongoing thing since I purchased the property, but there's been a space that's 30 by 100 in front of Jeff Case's house that I'm trying to work out a deal with Mr. and Mrs. Case right now. It's been on my tax map forever. We've been out there 17 years. I've owned it since I think 1998. So we've been trying to get all these things. There's sheds, there's garages along the back property line on all of these houses on Woods Road. So I've been working with all these people. They seem to be
Trying to get it straightened out like you are.
I've been sending letters with my other niece that works for an attorney. So, but this is my first part of business with the planning board. So,
All right, let's go back a little bit.
Yes.
Where's right? Light on right here between there.
Yeah. That's the piece right here. This
Oh, that's
30
it.
by,
Okay.
yep.
I'm looking here, and I see this 30-foot something.
No,
that's just a driveway to that lot.
It actually shows better on this map, and I only have this was my original one. It shows so much better as a road right here. And it says right here that it was
Gravel driveway.
Yep, and it goes right around. And you can see that the stakes are all right there and everything. And of course, again, that's always been there, and I've been trying to work with everybody. And I got, like, this shed is 100%
on your land.
On my land. And I've got them all right along the whole property line. Yeah, I know, but
it doesn't make it right.
No,
we're just acknowledging their business.
Exactly. So I'm working with all this and trying to get this all straightened around. And now that I'm retired, hopefully getting time to do it all. Exactly. But this is what my plan is trying to help my brother and sister-in-law up here, getting my niece and her husband and their 2 kids up here. Getting this thing worked out with Mr. or Mrs. Case. And then the other thing I would like to do, if it's possible, on my piece of property, which is the one that's right on the corner of Woods Road and Damon's Point, which is this corner right here where it's all green. Yeah. And of course, you can't see my house or anything, but I have 2 solar arrays. I have my house, a 30 by 30 garage, a 21 by 31 barn.
He's got his site.
Oh, there you
He's got
go.
your site.
Yeah, thanks, Bill.
Remember we did the solar panels there for years?
Yeah.
Okay, I didn't realize it was the same.
Yes, actually what I'm looking at doing, there's a couple of trees right here. If it's possible, I would like to add another grinder pump. Whoa, boy, that's sensitive, huh? Wow. I like how it zooms in. I'm not really having a party, just a lot of cars in the driveway. But I'd like to put a pad along Damon's Point Road on this section of my land for like a 25-foot camper, because I have family that's also coming up from Florida for a couple of months during the nicer weather, but then they go back home, and we can't just seem to get them all in our house and everything.
Phil, that would be a code.
And I don't know. I'm
Right,
thinking
yeah.
about putting a grinder pump in with a separate electric.
That'd be
That'd be a code issue. Speak to Larry Ball.
Speak to Larry? Okay.
And then Larry can talk to people about your grinder pump.
Okay.
That would, we are, no, that's what we would do.
Okay, that's cool.
Okay, on that one.
Okay.
So I think where we are with you, those are big lots. You just confirmed you've got both public sewer and water.
There's adaptability for both of them.
Okay.
The line runs right in front of them for the sewer. So again, it would be getting the grinder pumps hooked up for those. So when Owen,
they would have to do, they would have to
Yes,
do.
and on sewer and water.
Correct.
Yes.
That would be something.
Really creating.
Yes.
But
You're really creating another building lot with that.
Talking about the camper.
Yeah.
or the camper. I'm not dealing with the camper. I'm dealing
Yeah.
with, I'm dealing with the
Just
grinder.
one and
pump.
two. Yeah, there is, yes.
They've got public sewer and water.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, we do have it available, yeah.
So you're saying that would have to be, but it's not his property. I mean,
I understand.
you're thinking of subdivision type of thing?
I'm
What-
just thinking that we really, in the past, kind of found on that happening. We have a lot of those smaller lots down on the avenues where people would love to come in and park their camper for a couple months. It goes over like a lead balloon. But that's just me.
Well, that's not a small lot,
No, I understand.
I would go to Larry Ball
Yeah.
with those issues.
Okay.
Now, my question for us,
Right.
our lots 1 and 2 that are designated.
Right.
You say there's accessibility. There's accessibility to the lot to sewer. So it's right on the road.
Oh, yeah.
It's right there.
Absolutely.
But that's mandatory, is it not? That you would have to tap into that,
Yeah, absolutely.
right?
Yes. Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
Yeah. Okay. But you got a big. Your lots are bigger than you need in that zone.
Absolutely.
For that. I mean, you got plenty of room.
Yeah.
That's not a problem.
Okay.
We're just getting it clear in our minds.
Yeah.
That's what that's going to be.
Well, that's why I wanted to make sure that these were decent-sized lots to build a house and,
Have any issues with this, folks? Okay, we need a hearing for the third.
How big is the rest of, the third lot?
Total.
Okay.
12.489.
Yeah. 12.4.
Yeah, the remainder is lot 3. 12.489.
So the 30 piece there would be the back at Case's house. So you're trying to get them to purchase that from you or put it on their deed, right?
We're trying to get it on their deed, and all we want from them is to basically pay for whatever it's going to cost for the filing fees and things like that. I don't want any money for it, just get it onto your tax map,
What we have done, what we have practiced has been, if somebody like the transferring some property to an adjacent property under different ownership, as long as it doesn't really change the marketability, doesn't make the lot now subdividable or anything else, in that they can do that private tree.
Okay, so
We don't have language to address that.
Okay, but that's what my concern was, is how do we address that when we if we do that subdivision?
That won't really be included in the subdivision.
You're not
Right.
gonna-
Now, the only thing we're gonna have is the beats and bounds of those two lots. And he's still gonna own that little chunk. And if he's either gonna own it forever, or he can move it to the
Okay,
neighbor.
that's what my question was, is that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But we aren't gonna get involved in that
No.
little
He's just
parcel.
gonna square that off and then
Yeah.
you deal with them, they can put it on their server.
Because right
And
now,
that's what I want, let them pay for all of that, if they.
right now, it's part of your bigger parcel.
Yes,
Yes,
Right.
that's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
Get it cleaned up.
yeah, just to clean it up and get it all off, so.
Rich, you okay?
Yep, we just need to do seeker as well.
It's okay with what we're.
And hopefully I'll have an answer by the time you come around for the next meeting, so.
Okay. Okay, we're looking at the third, we're looking at 6:45, we're getting into pizza territory.
6:15. Go the other way, Frank.
Huh?
6:15.
6:15, I'm going north.
Okay.
Yeah, okay, can we have a motion for that? No, well, before we do that, we gotta do the seeker again.
Yep.
We gotta do it for you.
Okay. So again, part two, whether or not the 3-lot subdivision, with public sewer and water available. We've marked no or small impact with respect to each of the questions on part two of the short environmental assessment form. No impact on land use or zoning, the community, traffic, public water, sewer, historic resources, or drainage. The board can make a motion to declare itself lead agency, unlisted action, and a negative declaration.
Okay, that would all be woven into the motion, plus a hearing on.
Sure.
This one. At some point, those will have to be resurrected and will have to be stamped. You know, you can we'll do as many as you want, but you're eventually gotta have a acetate that's gonna be filed.
Right, yeah, Brian knows that.
Yeah. Yeah, they're well versed in the drill. Okay, you understand, folks, what you agreed, you do the motion?
I'll make a
What
motion.
Rich said, and the motion.
I'll make a motion.
Okay, is there a second to that?
I'll second it.
Any discussion? Not hearing any, all those in favor?
Aye.
All right, we'll see you at 6:15 on the third. Okay.
Yeah.
What have I got? Oh, here it is.
Fingers don't always want to work. Thank you.
You too.
Take care, Bill.
Thanks, Phil.
Okay. Okay, Jeff, it's yours.
Do you have a number, SBL number for him?
For what?
Do you?
For Jeff, I don't.
No.
The folder?
Well,
It's on the map.
Well, what's the question?
You want the
Just an
SBL?
SBL number.
Got it?
Yeah, just over here maybe?
I don't have any paperwork.
Is that it?
Yep.
There you go. Three dash two dash
You're not buying
32
office supplies, are you?
point
No, this
31.
was Ed's. Ed wanted to be here, but he's sick now, so he wasn't able to make it. So, the reason that I am back is, with getting into wanting to start the project, we were seeking all the proper permits before we started anything, as far as the campground area and just getting going on the overall project. Once we got into it, I was anticipating to get permits to break ground at any point in time, and kind of that was the whole idea, especially with the dry spring, summer weather, with move dirt coming up. Well, I guess it wasn't realized, but with DEC came back and said, with the Speedy's wastewater permit, it could take up to 6 months now because of COVID backlog. So that really changed things, and that puts us into September when the mud, and then that changes the whole time frame from being able to have something open next year to generate some kind of income from that. Because the original plan was, there was not specifically phases per se, but we were going to start with the front of the campground to get that done, opened up, get the septic out back done. And now this kind of changed it. Well, once that happened, we kind of came up with a plan, and we spoke with John Lang, we spoke with Madison County Health Department. We actually went down and met with them, we spoke with the DEC, and we came up with a game plan of going with development on the north side of the road, because as opposed to the 6-month permit, there's a general permit in which the DEC and the health department work in conjunction together on a separate, smaller septic system that's not this big package plant. So the south, what we're doing is basically separating north and south. But the original project, it was gonna pump under the road, and have to get permits for that, and it would all go back to the plant system or the package system there. What we've come up with to be able to work on this and open this, and I think with this, it's a better idea overall, because say we got this completely done and we don't have that package plant done, we can never open this side. What we've gone with the new plans is high pressure raised bed system, which is the one that it's a general permit. The health department reviews it with the DEC. We can get that permit in a more reasonable time, and I can actually start construction on the north side. Get in essence, it's part of the big project, but it's kind of a separate business. So in regards to starting something and having something over there, this could operate on its own without, if the south side, if DEC never approved the wastewater permit for the south side, it wouldn't make it so that this is not valuable land or available business. This is a wedding venue, lodging, all on its own. It was part of a bigger project combined. And actually both projects over the course of the years were separate ideas, just the property allowed me to put them together in the same place. So one, I would say, good thing with this is, when we came to before, there were a lot of small details that we didn't necessarily have for you to look at as far as landscaping or different, more in-depth detail, because it was such a big project. I would stay up late trying to figure out the details, and it's a lot harder. Now that we focused on this, we were able to put some landscaping, some trees, more descriptive areas for you guys to see what the overall plan is. And I got you boss up there.
Thank you. This is the non-campground section.
This would be the north side of the road.
Across the road.
Here, I can look over the show.
We got another one.
I can look at it.
So all of they've gone through and have been, like I said, working with everyone. All the elevations have been changed. Everything with the SWIP plan has been addressed, and we're getting ready to submit to Barton and Judas for them to review.
This the venue here?
Yeah, where's the banquet facility right there?
It would be.
Okay, so that's the venue here.
Yes. Now, there is a few changes on it from the original map. We had the wedding venue over here.
Right, and further back there.
Yeah, well, and it just, once I was laying it out, it made more sense. It's gonna look better from the road. Everything fits better with having it up there. That's still in it, but as you see, we added landscaping and shrubs. There's a picket fence along the front. There's like block gates. This is a front retention pond with waterfall. There's a fountain there. So we did make some changes to it and move some stuff around.
As far as structures, it's just banquet facility and these things. Right?
Banquet facility? No. The barn, that's the existing barn. Now, there's another proposed small barn, just, I don't know, for antelope or cattle, maybe I put a couple Scottish Highlanders or something out there. Because the plan is for people to pull in the driveway, they can look over and just see some cattle out there grazing or something.
Drop off the facility.
Yeah, it's graded away. Yeah, it's higher because the whole thing is to look over the field with the giraffe.
Yep.
And then this over here is something I added to add lodging to this side, because 15 really for a wedding isn't necessarily enough. So we just added 5 and 5, where that's a center walkway. It would just look into an animal enclosure, and that's the barn for the animals on the end. That's the existing shop. And that's the existing barn, existing house.
So these are the barns for the animals?
No, these are the little cabins.
So that's
sleepovers?
Yes, yep, just
in
small.
addition to these?
Overflow for that, you're saying?
Yeah, just to, I mean,
They're,
like I said,
so, okay, the cabins, but what are they, 2-bedroom, 1-bedroom?
no, I don't even know if they'll be. They might just be basically 1 bedroom. I'm not sure. No, the tree houses are still
In
there.
addition to the tree houses.
Yes, these are just. It could be bathroom, couch, pull-out couch, bed.
Mark, one of these we're gonna mark on
So the tree houses are going with this project?
Yeah, they're still, the tree houses are still part of it.
I can help you.
So this would be kind of like a phase 1?
Per se,
Is that what
once,
you're saying? Kinda?
yeah, this is a phase 1, but once we get the proper DEC permit for the south side, we're gonna start on that too. I'm hoping that we can get it before 6 months, like sometime when the ground's still dry, because I don't wanna have to.
Wouldn't it make it easier for us if you just said that this was phase 1, and then we could worry about everything else after the fact? Because then this way here, we're looking at this specific thing, as you've said. If DEC doesn't come through with a permit, we know what our limits are and what we're trying to accomplish.
I mean, I see what you're saying, but I'm not sure if labeling it at all would even be necessary, because the other project didn't have phases.
Right, but I'm just saying is that this would make it easier.
I mean, if you want to call it phase 1, I don't have a problem with that. But basically, this is.
But I mean, it's just a matter of
This is
if things
what-
could get muddy in the future, like all of a sudden, well, we're trying to hook up the septic system or the grinder over on this side, and how everything kind of melds together, and you want to come in and get a permit for this, and whether or not it's all completed, or I'm just.
Well,
hypothetical.
basically, like the way that the DEC works is you can't start one without the other with the speedies for it. Like the stormwater and wastewater, we had to have both. Like everything was reviewed and ready to get the stormwater.
You got a general permit.
Right. With this, I mean, we're just looking at it as, if you want to call it phase, this is what we can start now. We came up with a solution that I think for the overall development of the entire project I like better, with having a separate septic on this side.
Where is that?
Yeah.
He said that you don't list the septic on the site plan, that goes with the utilities, but the plan for the septic goes right in this area over here.
And that would include these.
Everything.
Okay.
Yes.
Are you gonna pump to it?
Yep. Yep. So, I mean, it's just we adjusted some stuff and moved some stuff around, and we gave you guys more clear detail. I mean, I know it was approved already for the way it was, but there wasn't a detail, and I just told him when we did it to give you as much detail.
What got approved, Jeff, is the PDD.
Right.
But you still didn't have approval for the actual layout of everything there. No, because that still has to come back, and there were things that were missing that had to be completed. And you're alluding to those now, some of that.
Okay. However, yeah, I mean, we're waiting on DEC permits to start.
What you got is you got the PDD, you got the space, and now in the general.
But you guys already approved the plans.
We approved for the PDD.
Okay, and the town board approved it.
They're the ones responsible for the PDD.
And then you guys sign off on it when it comes back.
When the details are all together.
Okay, that was never relayed. I mean, we were ready to.
No, that's the
if we got the speedies and the other permits, we were basically under the assumption we could break ground.
No.
Okay, well, moving forward, here's your details.
Okay, but we've got to digest this, and we'll take a look, and we'll see what more you need.
What needs to be digested? Like what?
Well, we're going to look at it. We're going to look at it and see, and look at. This is the first time we've seen it.
Well, I know you've talked to Ed, and he's filled you in on a lot of the projects.
This is the first we've seen.
So
that's what I asked Ed to do.
Meetings and meetings and meetings.
Could be.
This is garbage. I'm going to walk away from this damn project. Frank, you and the way you run this town is ridiculous. I am going under. I'm being transparent with you guys. I've got 117 acres, and I've got your code enforcement guy calling me, and if I move a little bit of dirt just to grade. I'm trying to do a nice project here in this town. I'm being transparent with you. I'm giving you the details. I guarantee I called Jeff Martin, I talked to the town board. They have no clue that I'm going to be delayed another 2 meetings, a month or so. You guys don't understand how, not all of you, but it seems you don't understand how business works in generating revenue and getting things going. You don't always have to make everything so difficult for everyone. I've spent a lot of money investing in this town that a lot of people aren't investing in. And it's always met with hurdles with you. I know you don't like me. I don't care. But I'm trying to run a business. I'm trying to do good things for the community. And it's always met with you and delays. So, I don't know, I guess I reevaluate the whole situation. And if it falls through, we can chalk it up as a Frank Park roadblock is kind of normal. I mean, it's ridiculous. We've given you the plans. Why didn't you tell Ed Reed that on the phone, that this is basically gotta be, that we're gonna need multiple meetings down the road to review this, and that I wasn't technically allowed to start anything until we got specific details to you guys. You've never said that to us.
That's
we have
the
to
law. That's the, just read the PDD. That's
what was approved is basically the same thing I got with my other PDDs. And I was told that for changes,
they were all
that I came back, they weren't all done. I did some stuff out after them. You know, I know the town's gonna be that, yeah, that's besides the point. But I bring more people into this town than anybody, and you just always roadblocks, Frank, always roadblocks. So I can see, maybe I'll just start building buildings and we'll just have one in court. That'd be kind of fun again, wouldn't it? It's ridiculous. I'm trying to be transparent. I've spent so much money on all these drawings, on everything, to try to build a nice project that everybody's about. But Frank Park doesn't like Jeff Taylor, so it's always comes down to this. This is ridiculous. It's time to pass the torch, Frank. It's come to a point where you hold things up. It's just insane. I come in here with a plan, everything, a presentation that makes sense. Everything's logical from a business standpoint.
Jeff, let me just ask you a question. Okay. What are you asking us to do tonight?
I would like to have the approval based on this map to be able to proceed. So we submit we send everything to Barton LaJudas. We can submit our septic design. We can submit our speedies permit. We can submit to move forward to get the necessary permits from the regulating bodies of our state to build this project. Obviously I have to get building permits before I can build buildings. I understand that. There's permits that I know I can't do things until I get that. I can't move dirt till I have the speedies permit. But now, after you guys reviewed everything, you're telling me you have to review it again. The map is just, I've added more detail. You could see the tree houses. You knew what the tree houses looked like. You knew what the wedding venue. The wedding venue is right here. Hasn't changed since the last time you guys looked at it. Really nice.
You never saw it.
I've brought smaller pictures in that I passed around that everyone's looked at. You've looked at this picture too. I've brought them all in. I've given you details. Maybe you're forgetting that I've given you details, but I've given you details. You looked at them, and I was under the assumption that I get my permits. You don't start until you get your permits, and then you go from there.
I'm just relaying.
Well,
would you like the attorney to explain that to you?
It makes probably more sense than this does, but we have been in contact with Lange. Ed Reed has been in contact with John, and he seemed to think that it was a great idea, seemed to think it makes sense. I mean, I know in the world we live in, common sense isn't that common anymore, but it's just ridiculous.
This is a letter that you received from us.
I didn't receive a letter.
Right here.
I didn't receive that letter.
They were sent to you.
Okay.
Sent to you at 2 addresses.
Okay.
Okay. Ed Reed was also copied.
Okay.
Okay. And it explains the whole procedure. And this was dated March 21st, 22.
Okay. Well.
Okay. And it says in here, and this is, and you could read it. I'll give you this copy right here because I got a lot of
I
them.
don't need it. I'll go look through my mail.
Okay.
I'm kind of busy.
All right. Well, and it explains the process, and it's very clear in here what I'm trying to tell you. Now, if you want tonight,
on the north side.
if you want to go to BLL with this, give it to them.
Well, I guess I'll just tell them to submit it and whatever.
Go ahead.
They don't want to issue the
Go ahead.
It's crazy though. It's never. How can we help you? It's always how can I hinder you and your manner of how you approach me. I came here.
I'm following
with a
the
lot
law.
of effort.
That's the only thing I
Come
can
on,
do.
Frank. You don't always follow the law. Your personal opinions are what happens.
Sorry, Jeff, I can't. I'm not going to
get a dictator up here. But it's. I've given you details in the past.
If the board,
details.
This is not personal from my point.
No, I don't think it is with you. I think there's one person up here that's personal.
What I'm thinking is that this is the first I've seen this. You know, I've had
well, maybe
10 minutes.
Maybe Frank should have filled you guys in because he's had phone calls about it.
May I?
But we didn't see anything.
Okay, but you knew things about it. Yeah.
May I? You changed it by putting those cabins in there, and to be honest with you, I don't know what that means. You were working with this and you have all of the ideas. I don't understand what I mean, yes, you put cabins in there, but how does that affect everything else? That's what I'm
So
trying
ask
to.
me right now, ask me,
I'm
here to answer your question.
I'm just looking at this, and it's like, wait a minute, what is this? You know, I can't, it just doesn't come to me like it does for you because you're working with all of this.
I understand that, but a cabin,
Steve,
but if you have that,
we're looking at it from a
I'm
different
right here in
perspective.
front of you. I brought everything I have. I'm organized everything. I'm here to answer your questions. Jeff, what kind of cabins are they? Frank, you asked me, are they 2-bedroom? I said, right now I think that they're going to be open floor, a bathroom, maybe a pull-out couch, a bed. So basically, probably the similar size of a hotel room, and it's a cabin for people to stay in. Like, I guess what you want me to do is probably go spend $2-3 grand on architects and have everything detailed, drop down. A lot of things that you don't understand. A project like this is always evolving, always changing. And as you get into it, that was what I thought was nice about this, and I thought you would appreciate the detail. As we focused on this area, it evolved and things made more sense, and we were able to give more detail and clarity. And I'm sure as I get into this, even more is going to seem to fit together. What you see on paper when you actually put a shovel on the ground and start moving stuff around are two totally different things, and it's just things change. But to say that you've never seen cabins, that you've never seen this wedding venue, is a flat out ridiculous. I mean, if you record all the meetings, go back and I brought them all to you.
It's not that I don't say I understand what a cabin is.
No, I'm saying that he
trying
said
to
I haven't brought you
conceptualize
stuff.
what
I
you're
brought
putting
you a
down
lot
here.
of stuff.
I know.
Has B&L seen this plan?
Everything's being submitted. Taylor has been contacted. We've contacted everyone and been transparent this entire time.
But have they seen the updated septic design?
That was being submitted to them, I believe, tomorrow. They're working on that. And I understand I can't start till all the has reviewed that. Because I can't get the SWIP without it. You can't get the stormwater without them reviewing it.
Yep.
Okay. All right.
So you wanna look at this stuff, let B&L look at it, and then we'll come back and have a meeting?
We're not going anywhere until B&L.
You know what the difference is, Frank? For me, time is money. It's different for you. I want to get things built so I can make money. I've invested a lot in the town. I want to invest more. I don't want to lose money. The whole thing is I wait 6 months at the DEC, and that's following the way they are. I lose 6 months of construction. I lose a whole year of revenue. A project like this, a whole year of revenue is in the millions of dollars. I'm trying to prevent that in a logical business sense. I don't have farms to sell off to generate revenue. I have my business, and I have my hard work that generates it. I didn't get anything given to me.
So if we looked at this and say, come back, give us till next week and come back?
I mean, if we could do a special meeting, I'd like that, but I mean,
Well, not until we're going anywhere until B&L gives us a response. And B&L will respond what they need to make a review.
A special meeting after that. I mean, the thing is I get treated like what I'm doing is negative, and I don't get it. I mean, it's a very positive thing. You can dislike me all you want, but I have great employees, and everything that we do turns out nice, and this is going to be one of the nicest, probably the nicest thing that we've done.
So you're gonna turn everything into B&L tomorrow?
I'm gonna, like I said, there was a little bit of with Ed getting sick, but yes, that's as long as I can get a hold of him. Everything is in process. We're submitting to Madison County. We sat down with an hour-and-a-half long meeting with Madison County last week, discussing it with the septic to make sure that it would work.
And they're good with it?
Yeah, they were fine with it. They said that DEC makes the ultimate determination, and I'm fine with that. I understand that. And I didn't expect, just to be, but it was roadblocks. Try to help people. That's all I'm saying. Help people move their projects along. It doesn't have to be a hurdle. I mean, I'm submitting everything to all the necessary agencies. So
then you're looking to get something so that you can submit it to DEC to start working on your permits?
Yeah, I'd like to be able to. I would like to be able to, because realistically, you don't know with DEC how long this general permit. It should be fairly simple. You're talking about a raised bed system as opposed to a package plan, to where it's the thing that could it take 2 weeks, possibly. It could take 2 months. I don't know what their backlog is, but if it takes 2 weeks, I would like to be in the position of where I can start moving dirt. I can start working on infrastructure. it's spring now. It's like the time to build and do things. So,
What do you say when we hear from you now? When we can schedule a meeting?
I appreciate that. I don't want, hopefully I don't have to wait. The problem is waiting 2 weeks, and then it becomes a month. I mean, it's gone on a long time.
Do you think we could do that? When B&L comes back?
We gotta find out from B&L.
Yeah.
But you
That's
think
out of
we
our
could
hands.
do that was the question.
So
If
why
B&L
not come
comes
back?
back with it, can you schedule a meeting? I think that's the question.
Let's see when that happens and what B&L comes back with. What kind of comments?
So if they come back with, they're fine with it, can we schedule a meeting fairly quickly?
I would poll the board, and if they wish to do that, we would do
I
that.
appreciate that.
So Jeff, wait, so don't misinterpret us not giving you the okay as being negative. We're just trying to follow procedures and protocol.
I understand procedures.
So, you know, I know what you're saying, but, you know, it's not fair to us to say, if you don't get this approval based on us looking at it, then we're being negative. We're just following.
And I understand
protocol.
procedures and law, and I get that, and I respect
So you're
the
clear,
position. But there's a history between Frank and I, and I'm not afraid to admit it. It's obvious, at least I can admit it, that it seems like I'm always met with resistance. And I get you guys are here too, and you're on the outside, but it seems like things just get delayed and delayed and delayed, and I don't want delays. I want to be able to start the project. I am investing a massive amount of money in my
Will you please give us respect enough to understand what you're trying to do before you say we need to make a decision? And I know,
Well, I mean,
to come in here and just put this and say, oh, well, I'm ready to move. Let's do it now.
Well, I'm not ready to move.
Well, I'm just saying is that, you know, give us some time to digest some of this stuff.
Well, I didn't know.
Like I
I
said,
thought
you're
that-
working with this stuff constantly, so you understand it a hell of a lot more than I do.
I understand.
And I need to come up to speed and say, okay, this is what you're trying to do. This makes sense. Fine. Then I'm ready to make a decision.
Right, and I understand that, but Frank was related. I thought that you guys made like email in between to let you know, but that's what I was here for
Well,
tonight.
I mean,
Is
see,
any questions
Jeff,
that you
let's
had?
make it clear.
Hang on, whoa, whoa,
There
I
was a
finishing what I was saying,
conversation
Jeff.
with Ed Reed.
What I was
He
saying
didn't
is,
tell me
I was
anything.
here tonight to help you understand what was going on. I understand you know, and that's what I was here for. We didn't get to that point till the obstructionist took over, so.
All right.
Well, hopefully that.
So, okay, so once we hear from B&L, we all agree that we'll have a meeting on this? You come in? Frank, are you okay with that? Once B&L goes?
I go with the wishes of the board.
So, they're saying, okay, it's gotta be 3 out of 5.
I may or may not be available.
Okay,
Yes, that's good.
so we have 3, so if it comes back, then there's 3 out of 5 that says we'll go to. I appreciate that.
Okay, we've got a couple of little things here to deal with. 3 of us went to the March symposium meeting, and give you a chance to report whatever you want to do.
Should have done my homework. I forgot the one to do, remember.
Well, you guys went to ones I didn't, so I went to different ones.
Went to one on,
Just so that the other 2, Dave's been one. You ever been to the symposium?
I have. One of those downtown?
Yeah.
I've been a couple of
Great.
years.
The format is basically,
Yeah.
you know, three seminars.
Was it their office one time? Was it?
John, well, you were on Plum Street. I don't know where you are now.
We're on West Jefferson.
Yeah, they moved down. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, I've been to Plum Street, but I've never been to the other one.
Yeah, right in Armory Square.
Yeah. Okay. And John's on the board of the Onondaga.
Mine's better.
Right.
Yeah. And they have, you know, a bunch of stuff. But I thought they were pertinent. Now they were really focused. They were focused on Onondaga County. Onondaga County has got a more, they're doing a county plan, a county plan. And a lot of the things dovetails into that.
Is the meeting ended?
No, we might as well just talk about this quick. And then we can end it. Meeting's still on. And I went to one on agriculture in Onondaga County. And again, that's a strength of the Onondaga County, and they're playing it up. But there's things that we can do. We have like farm days, they have farm days, things of that. But they talk also about protecting ag land and protecting it, which we had a little informal discussion earlier, and that comes with solar, etc. And the usage and the pressure is going to be on Northeast agriculture. We've got the water, we've got the soils, and we've got a municipal basis to do our best to preserve as much as we can. So that was good. Then I went to that one, and I'm trying to think of the other ones because I love my notes on.
They have the materials online too, right?
Yeah, that's right. That's a good point. You can go on for the Onondaga County Symposium. Is that where Planning Federation, and you can get summaries of every one of these.
Yep.
And the other one was on strong centers.
See you guys.
Yeah, take care. And the other was on strong centers. And that is more of an urban than it is here. We're not going to probably redevelop Bridgeport, or you're not going to redevelop Perryville. And that's basically what they were talking about, is providing some community type of things in a more neighborhood type of way, rather than us saying this is an MR12 zone, you can't have any of this. More of a mixed use, have it centered, this type of thing. And then the other one I went to is the concept of comprehensive planning. And we need to talk about that because our comprehensive plan is 20 years old. And you should really, by State Department of New York, every 5 years, take a look at it. You don't have to throw it all out. You can upgrade parts of it and what doesn't fit. And basically it is the ultimate roadmap for the community. And every decision and what we make should be in line with that.
Yeah, consistent with
that's right. And it's, John's familiar with it. In any kind of documentation, that's what it says, is this fit with this comprehensive?
Usually it's revisited and then it's updated accordingly.
Yeah, you don't have to throw it all out.
Sure. So it makes sense, and then
a lot of it's never changed.
Adjust it, and
you
make adjustments.
Yeah, you made adjustments. Ours, we ought to have some. You guys want to say something now, or after I've?
Well, the one I went to with housing was very good, because he was talking about how when you bring in new jobs to the area, like they're talking about engineering jobs and the income that these people will be bringing with those types of jobs, and having affordable housing for them. So then you talk about how much disposable income they would have to buy the houses and how that affects the entire housing market, because in essence, they would be forcing other buyers out of the market, because if somebody comes in, they're making $100,000 a year to start, they're going to be able to pay more for, say, a $250,000 house. They'll outbid somebody who's on a lower income. And how all of that begins to affect your tax base, your schools, and everything in the whole community. So it really was a good program as far as how housing really influences the larger community, and in more ways than just the physical structures. I thought it was very good.
I went to one on community mobility, and there's a need for better access for pedestrians walking on highways, mainly bicycles. And that they should have a place for bicycles and pedestrians designated in the country. environmental strategies, better connection was met with the bike lanes, trail program to improve sidewalks, network in the mixed use areas. Identify priority corridors for multi-use investment, enhance, I have to read my writing here, enhance local transport with new technologies, and implement a bus rapid transit system.
A lot of it is thrust is mixed use today. It's different mixed use buildings, mixed use, and you know, we don't, our current zoning law should reflect what the ideals of the master plan are. That's what it is. I mean, really, that's the most important key. What are your goals? What are your visions? And then when you get those, then your zoning laws should follow that. And in a gross sense, you know, that type of thing. The last thing is John Lange and Rich's outfit here is big into the solar business now, and they have got together a PowerPoint on solar. And John, it's a traveling roadshow, and we can have it on the screen, and that counts as in service about 45 minutes. I think that John said. Yep. And I'm just saying, are you amenable to doing that if we have a light? You know, we don't want to be doing it after a meeting like tonight, but we could leave it flexible. Maybe it's a way, I don't know whether we can make it, how we can affect it necessarily, but if we plan it, something will blow up.
I'd be okay if we didn't have a hearing between 45 minutes early.
Okay.
There's another way to do it too, so that's stretching the meeting.
Yeah.
All right. I mean, that's just thought or come in at 6
well,
for that one time if we.
We've got you also.
That's what we've been doing with the zoning board. We started training with them last month.
Okay.
Came out an hour before the meeting.
Yeah,
at 6, and then we're actually doing it this month.
You can't get here earlier. Okay.
But we can work around whatever the board's schedule is.
The town has a new solar law, which I need to distribute to you. That was instituted, town board. They had some real concerns, and I think that probably some of these are addressed in this PowerPoint. We are the ones that affect the law. We need to get a better handle on maybe some of the issues than we do, you know, and I think that it's a pertinent thing to do. Okay? All right.
We need to have the minutes approved or disapproved.
Okay. How about the minutes for?
They're this long.
I approved the minutes from last month's meeting.
Okay. Any second?
I'll second.
Any discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Okay. Can we have a meeting or a motion to adjourn the meeting?
So moved.
I'll second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Phil, do me a favor and see what's in the law.